Good morning. My name is Julianne Dillon. I am the Outreach Coordinator for Kennedy-Donovan Center, Cape Cod Community Services. We welcome you today to Part 3 of our Basic American Sign Language series. Today, we would like to welcome Michelle Piers from HAC, who will be our teacher for our American Sign Language class. Also, I want to say that Kennedy-Donovan Center is a resource and referral agency for individuals on the autism spectrum and those with related developmental disabilities. Thank you very much. Thanks, Michelle.
Sure. Thank you, Julianne. Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to go over the signs we learned last time we got together, just as a little refresher, and then we're going to move into some phrases, okay? So we started off with our genders, male and female. Remember, the male is done above, from the eyes and above, and female is like from the cheek down to around the chin line. So we have father, mother, grandfather is out of generation, and then grandmother also is out of generation. We have son, starts at your forehead, and you bring it down as in swaddling a baby. Same thing with a girl. Good. Family is you make two F's, bring them around together, pulling a circle. Parents are your P on your forehead and to your chin. Parents. Your sister is a girl who's the same as you. And then a brother is also boy and then the same. Your sweetheart, kind of interlocking your fingers, and then around your heart, sweetheart. A man is out from the forehead. That's the brim of the hat. And then, let's see, we have a woman who's down at the chest. People are your P's in circles. And then remember when we did our person marker is your P's but straight down. So this is used when we have people, say we have an artist person. So it's art person. Boy and girl. Boy is for a hat, girl is back in the day when they used to wear bonnets, so it's a little string. A child is down here. So then multiple people, you have many children, 2, 3. And a kid is this, but across your nose as you're wiping their nose. A doctor is your M, but on your wrist, like taking your pulse. So there, a nurse is your N, taking your pulse. Good. A dentist is your D, tapping at your teeth. A police officer is at your chest, his badge. And a fireman is on his helmet. The letter carrier, or the mailman, is you're licking the stamp. Licking the stamp, and then his hat. An adult, when you were talking about it, it's old, and then you're up here as an adult. A baby, you're rocking in your arms. A teacher is someone who has the sharing their knowledge, and then it's the person marker, so knowledge in person. A student is someone who's taking that information and putting it in their head, and then the marker. Class, you bring your C's together in a circle. So whenever there's a group of people, you always bring it around in a circle. Same thing with the family, the class, group is your G's together. A friend is you take your two fingers, one and then the other. You link them together, you're close. All right, we move on to your house. Just make the roof line. But if you have a neighborhood, it's many houses. But where you live is your home, where you eat and sleep. Your room is your R's, and you make a box. So if you have a living room, life, room, living room. My bedroom is where I sleep. Dining room is where you eat. A kitchen is your K. It's like you're flipping food. Bathroom is your tea and just a little shake. A door, you open and I open the door and I can close the door. Same thing with the window, open and close. These are kind of, everyone kind of knows it's the universal. So stairs, you walk up the stairs. I can go down the stairs too. When I take a shower, it's the water and you're washing your body. When you have cabinets, there's many of them. You're opening them together. And for a closet, it's your clothes and door. That's where you keep your clothes, in the closet. You sleep in a bed. So this is where you're resting your head on the pillow. The couch is where you sit, but it's longer. Chair is just, these are your legs over hanging on the side of the chair. Basket is from here, so a waste basket. And that's from a while ago when people used to carry baskets on their arms. Telephone, I think this is universal also. You're on the phone. And a table. This is my non-dominant here, and so I'm going to be using it here as my stable point. So this is the table, and you're just representing this is what it is, table. A light is on, and then it's off. A vacuum. So it's an open C and just vibrating on your hand, which is representing the floor. A radio, you're hearing it with your ears. So. And a picture is you see something, a picture. And so this is like a picture frame, you're taking a picture. Closed, your open fives, down. A skirt represents just the length of the skirt. A sweater, pulling it over you. Okay? Trousers or pants, you're pulling them up. My shirt. So it's like your F's. Just grab your shirt. Which is very close to vacation, I might add, because that is, you kind of hook you hook it like on your farmer jeans kind of thing. You're on vacation, you're nice and relaxed. Socks. Putting on your socks. Shoes, tapping your hands together. My coat, I'm pulling it on. So you're just kind of pulling it on. Gloves, which unfortunately we need today. Okay, breakfast. We eat in the morning. If we're going to be having lunch, we're going to eat at noon. Dinner time, we're going to eat in the evening. So this hand is representing the sun. Where is it during? It's coming up in the morning. At noon, for lunch, it's in the middle. In the evening, it's going down. So when we make eggs, you're cracking your eggs. Toast. Yeah. Yep, toast. And then butter is you're buttering your toast. Pancakes, you're flipping them. Bacon is strips of bacon. Syrup, kind of like wiping it off your chin. Wiping it off your lips, actually. Sandwich, representing the bread, and then what's in between. Soup, you're scooping it up. Your V's, salad, you're tossing. Spaghetti is your eyes. Hamburger. And hot dog is your G's, but you're just kind of pinching them out. French fries. French fries. And then, similar to your hot dog, but you're going to take it this way, is sausage, because they're much fatter and they're bigger. Rice, because I like a rice ball, a rice bowl. Beans are smaller. And vegetables is your V. Corn, everyone kind of knows this. You're kind of biting along the ear of corn. Carrot, similar. Peas. So this represents like the pea pod and then the little beans for the peas. Potato, you stick a fork in it to see if it's done. cheese. So do you have cheese on your hamburger? Cracker. So for drinks, do you want to drink? This is also cup, but if you want to have a glass, so cup. But if you want a tall glass, you can just make it bigger. We have water. Make our J for juice. Soda pop, soda. Coffee. Tea, you dunk in your tea bag. Milk, as in you're milking a cow. Cream, you're skimming off the top of the milk. And sugar, it's sweet. So for cookie, you're opening up kind of the shape of the cookie, like a cookie cutter. And then cake is off the hand. Pie is the pie shape. Ice cream cone, another universal. You're like you're eating an ice cream cone. Fruit. Pumpkin is you flick your hand and then you make it big. So it's like a melon. Apple, you make your X into your cheek. Grapes, it's like for a bunch. Strawberry is, and then berry. So this represents the strawberry. My favorite, which we had yesterday at the movies, was popcorn. And then a banana, you peel your banana. So let's do some colors. This would just represent all colors. We have red, blue, yellow, white comes out, it's your 5 on your chest and you pull it out. Black is across your forehead. Green is your G, and just kind of wiggle it back and forth. Orange. Pink is your K or your P on your lip and pull it out. Purple is the same, and you're just wiggling it. Tan is your T, and down on your cheek. And brown is your B, across your cheek. When we move on to numbers, 0, 1, 2. Your 3 is made this way, not our traditional, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. When we're talking about, first, second, and third, it's first, second, and third. So it's your thumb, your index finger, your middle finger. First we're going to do this, next we're this, and then last we're going to do this. When we're working in day programs, this is a famous word, more. Many. The flicking of it means multiples. Time, for your watch. An hour is on your hand, but it makes a full circle. So it's your D, bring your thumb in, it's your D, and all the way around. A minute is smaller, and a second is even smaller. So a month is your D, cross your left hand, your opposite hand, and bring it down. But if it's monthly, you're doing it multiple times. A week is your D on your hand, week. So this would be next week, last week, weekly. Good. 2 fists is a year. So next year, last year, yearly. Something you did in the past, you used to do something. It's on your shoulder. Today. You can do it today, lots of times, but it's today, right now. When we move on and we want to do something next. So here's your stable point, next. So, or it could be before or after. Let's see. Again, this tapping of to your left hand. Again. Can you repeat that? Can you do that again? So this one is then or. So you go from your thumb to your index finger. Other ways you can kind of go or. Is another way of doing it. So when we do the days of the week, Sunday, your M for Monday. Tuesday is your T. Wednesday is your W. Tricky. TH is Thursday. Friday. Your fist with your thumb across is Saturday. Your thumb on your cheek is yesterday. Going backwards is yesterday. Going forward is tomorrow. So anything going back is past tense. Anything going forward is in the future. Upstairs, it's either up or upstairs. Down, downstairs. In and out. So like when you're doing opposites, it's just kind of in the reverse. Up, down, in, out. The most of it is going to be the opposite of what you're doing. Right. Make your R to the right, your L to the left. Make your L for library, make it in a circle. Restaurant is your R, restaurant. Store, I did a lot of this weekend, shopping. I went to the store. So you can go to the department store. This is office, O, make your O's. And then you make that box. It's just representing a room. Went to the movies. And then for party is your 2 P's. You make 2 P's. Can you go over there? So you want to go. Or if you want someone to come to you, you bring it towards you. You're going to drive in a car. You can park. I'm sorry, thumb up, park. You can also use this for driving, you know, you're driving someplace. Now we did this before. This is also I love you. You can say, oh, I love you. But it's also to fly. To play a game. Could be like a video game. It can be a sport. So, let's see. A football is you're catching the ball, like holding that ball. Basketball, you're kind of throwing the ball. Volleyball. Of course, baseball. Soccer is kicking the ball. Hockey, you make your X, and it's hitting it off the ice. Exercise. Swimming. Golf. Not good at that. Golf. Bowling. Not good at this either. Bowling. If you're going to sing or music, it's kind of lightly on your arm, on your forearm. If you're dancing to the music, this is your floor and your feet are moving. You have a book, but maybe you want to read the book. A magazine is thank you, spine. You can play. You don't always have to do this with 2 hands. You can get away with it with 1. So if you want to play cards, TV is your T and your V. This is art. So remember we talked about that person marker? So it would be an art person is an artist. Same thing with music. Person is a musician. Or maybe it's a singer. Help. A big one to know. Need. So, do you need help? This is live or life. Make your 5s, but bring your index, your middle fingers in. Are you sick? This you would move my head, you know, I'm sick in the head, my stomach, you know, wherever you're not feeling well is where you would put your 6. Do you have a cold? It's on your nose. You have a cough. You're coughing it up. When we're doing this, you kind of, you got to be a little more dramatic with it. So you just can't go, because someone's not going to know what that is. So you go like, kind of cough. You're going to mime it out. Feeling dizzy. Okay. So does this have to do with your breathing? When you're not feeling well? Are you in pain? Does something hurt? Are you vomiting? So it's really kind of up and out. Make your P's. Is it pneumonia? So you do it across your chest because of your lungs. And this one is your heart. So, you know, it's a heart attack. Good. Medicine is your 5, but your middle finger in, and it's on your hand. So medicine. And then you take a pill. Make your D's. A wheelchair around the side. This is fire. So if you're having like a fire drill or something, you would do this to someone. Also, an alternative we've used is an X on someone's back, if they're really not understanding this concept, but you could try the X. Smoke. So you're kind of making a tunnel with it. Work is done this way, good. Bath. Make. Joining. So you take your H, you take your H and you're bringing it into your other hand. Good. You're joining something. Try is your T's. You're going to try. And use. Good. I need to start. I'm going to start my car. You know, we need to start an activity. Stop. We already did read. Write. So it's your F. And then you're going to guide somebody. You just kind of bring them along, gently bring them along. When you know something, and then you don't know something, I have no idea. Wipe it across your forehead as you forgot. I understand. It's like the light bulb went on. I get it. Decide is your F's, and you're kind of like you're weighing it, you're making a decision. Want is you bring it into yourself. You know, give that to me, I want it. You can do love this way, you hug. You can do, as we said, I love you. Several different ways. Like is you're going to take your open hand and bring your middle finger and your thumb together and pull it out. Like. Good. So let's do some emotions. Happy. I'm happy. Are you sad? Sorry. Surprised. That's terrific. Enthusiasm. Take your F, your middle finger in, feel. I'm frustrated. Tired. Tired. I'm angry. Comfortable. I'm scared, I'm afraid. Anger kind of boils up inside of you. Oof. Funny as across your nose. That's kind of funny. It kind of tickles your nose. It's funny. Hungry. Oh, like you can feel your stomach rumbling. Oh, I'm hungry. Right down your throat. And thirsty is right here. Good. When you want to talk to someone, it's a communication back and forth. You're talking. When I want to say something, you're bringing it out because you're talking at somebody. And then when you want to speak. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. I want to listen. Can you listen to me? And here's another good one. You need to pay attention. It's kind of like a horse with their blinders on. If you need to focus, and I need you to pay attention. So that's great. We're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll do some phrases and some other things. So thank you. I want coffee.
What's I? Is it just the I?
I. You point to yourself. If you do it this way, that's signed English, and that's not what we're doing. We're doing American Sign Language. It's a big. Is a lot of signed English and American Sign Language are similar, but not quite. Signed English does every single word, and it's out of. They'll do the, is, a lot of words. American English is about concepts because it comes from the French. It comes from the French language. And they do it as though it's a spoken language or a written language, the way we would in proper English. And American Sign Language is about the concept, not about, it doesn't translate well to written English because they leave out a lot of those words. If you're in school and you're deaf and you're learning that and you're going to be mixing with the hearing community, they may teach you the proper way of doing it as you get older, just so you can, join a little bit better and kind of meld a little bit better. So with my coffee, maybe I want some cream and some sugar. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to start on, in the beginning we started with our alphabet signs, that it's an initial sign, so it's used for many different, in performance and other signs, so I'm going to give you some examples. When we do A, it's also sorry. Stamp, girl is on your forehead, your chin. Sweater. Coat. Yesterday. Tomorrow. Help. And bath. So all those are performed just with using the letter A. For B, we have blue, brown. This is kind of will be. Something that's going to happen, will be. Hello. It's stop. Son. Daughter. Stairs. It's also the person marker. Child. Bed. Cabinet or doors. It's pie. I didn't give you this one earlier. It's also fish. And sandwich. So with the letter C, it's drink, it's cup, it's policeman, it's fireman, it's picture, it's photographer. Cream. So you're making your C and you're scooping it off. Cake. Cough. And class. For D, it's also the number 1. So we have dentist. False. Kind of goes across your nose. Truly. Or really. Bored. Week and weekly. It's also month and monthly. Your F, family. Cat, it's the whiskers. French fries. Shirt. Fruit. It's also the number 9. Decision. Nothing. And T. For G, it's group. It's green. Hot dog. Little ones are beans. Turkey. This is also Thanksgiving. Bird or chicken. Queen, it's the sash of the queen. Your N is also your H, and it's your U. It's depending on how you're using it. So it's name, niece, nephew, sit, chair, nurse, eggs, soup, butter, join, funny, and use. When you do L, it's later. You could also do kind of see you later. When it bring it from your I, is see you later. Life or live. Your living room. Left, library. When you do your O, it's shopping. It's eat. It's teach. Orange. Old. Home. Sausage. Milk. More. And office. Good. For your P, it is pink, purple, people, parents, person, party, patient. For your S, it's yes, work, shoes, carrot, year, Saturday. It's car, you're driving, and ice cream. Your T is the bathroom, toilet, tan, try, and then twins. And then your last one that I have for an example is your X. It's need, peas, apple, hockey, skating, skiing, an onion. Okay, so it's important to know your alphabet just because it performs so many different tasks when you're doing your signs. So some other things that you might need to know is your WH questions. So let's see. Who is it around the lips? Because when you say who, it's the circle who, how, which, where, when, what, why. So you take it from your before and you're bringing it down to your why. Why? Because. Not a WH question, but it's still a question, right? You're going to ask a question. Please, I have to ask you a question. You're going to answer a question. You can ask a question and answer a question. When you can even start a sentence by saying, making the question mark, meaning you're starting you're letting them know you have a question. Kind of like a what for. This one's kind of interesting. It's kind of, take your fives or your fingers in and you bring it up. It's kind of like, what's up? What's happening? How many? Or how much? Because it could be a little or it could be a lot. If doing things like this can tell you quantity of something. Also, the size of your sign is putting emphasis on things. So if you have a lot of something, or just a little bit, if you want to say, you could tell someone no, or you can make it big. And that's really, you're kind of raising your voice when you're doing that. Making it large is really letting them know. That's definitely no. So if you're asking what time it is, you don't have to go, what time? You're just going to go, what time? When you're asking a question, really when you're doing it, your eyebrows are coming down. If you haven't noticed it when you're talking, you do it anyways, but you're really kind of making it, you know, oh, do you know what time it is? Or what's going on? What's happening? Then, when we do, there's a bunch of different ways of saying no or negating something. There's a simple no, not. Nothing, nothing's happening. You can also do it this way, nothing. You're throwing it away. No. It's your zeros. Nothing. Zippo. Or nothing. Not to be confused with finished. That's kind of a flicking out of the hands. This is nothing. Stop it now. This one is, you know, this is coming forward as will. I will do something. This is no, I won't. Won't. You're getting rid of it. Out of here. See ya. Kind of like, I'll do it later. It's way back here. All right, so let's do some phrases. When you're asking, you know, you're letting someone know who you are. We did my name is. You finger spell out your name. The only person we talked about who can give you a name sign is generally someone in the deaf community. You can assign yourself one, but generally it's someone who's non-hearing. You might ask someone what's their name? What your name? It's not what is your name, it's just what your name. Where do you live? So this is do. You could say, I live, you're going to finger spell out where you live, your street or your town. So for me, I have a large family. I have my mom, my father, he passed away. I have 3 kids, 2 girls, 1 boy. I am a grandmother of 3. 1 boy, 2 girls. Sorry, 1 boy, 2 girls. I have 1 brother. No, that's sorry. 1 brother, 1 sister. And I have 1 brother-in-law, so you make your L's, in-law, and 1 sister-in-law. I should mention him because he'll get upset. I have 1 son-in-law. I have 4 nephews and 1 niece. I had many aunts and uncles. And I have many cousins. So that's how you would have a little conversation with someone. You're not going to say all the little words in there. Not necessary. So when you're asking someone how they are, how are you? Just how are you? You might say, I'm fine, I'm good, or I'm good today. And then you could say back to them, how are you? If you have a medical, I have a medical, you know, let me see. I have a medical appointment. Oh, appointment, sorry. Got flustered there. Appointment. Today. So when someone gets up in the morning, you might want to say, good morning. It's time to wake up. Kind of flick it up at your eyes. It's the eyes popping open. Do you want, this is take, a shower before you eat breakfast? You want to try that one again? Do you want to take a shower before breakfast? Maybe you want to ask them what they want to wear. What do you wear? So same thing as clothes, okay? So what do you want to wear? Maybe I just put down an example of something they might say back. My white shirt and black pants. And maybe your running shoes or your sneakers. What do you want to eat for breakfast? Slowly. Bring that up slowly for breakfast. Otherwise, it's not nice. Okay. So simply, if it's time to eat breakfast. You don't, for people who aren't understanding like a whole phrase, you can cut them down to make them smaller. So it's just time to eat breakfast. You don't have to go through a whole lengthy phrase. You know, do you want a drink? So you can give them options. You know, I have water. You have orange juice, fruit juice, milk, coffee, tea. This is iced tea. It's cold. Let's see. So these are some things that you might do with your family or with some of the folks we work with. I spend my time doing what? With my family, okay? I like to go swimming. You might ask a question, do you like, whatever you're going to ask, do you like skating? Do you like running? Do you like going for a walk? Do you play basketball? Okay. Do you ride? So this is kind of, you're making a seat for someone. Ride a bicycle. So ride a bike. I like to read. These is my personal ones. I like to paint or draw. I also like taking photographs. You know, do you like music? Listening to music? Yes? I sing in my car. Nowhere else. So maybe there's a dance coming up, let's say. Do you want to go to the dance? Maybe it's on Friday, okay? If you ask them to go with me, okay? To make it simpler, maybe you just ask them if they're going to the dance. Are you going? So you going to the dance. Okay. Even simpler, you can just say, you dance? So, What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What you want to do? You know, tonight? Tomorrow? What do you want to do tomorrow? What? Weekend? Do you want to watch TV? Do you want to watch? These are your eyes. I'm watching. I'm watching you. But TV. Do you want to go to a movie? Or maybe, what movie? What movie do you want to see? Or simply, you can just say, movie?
What would you spell it out? To like say someone said, yeah, movie.
If you have a particular movie you want to see, you would spell it out. Okay, so what time do you want to go? Okay, so maybe you want to go at 7. It would actually be the whole hour. Be 7 o'clock, the 7 o'clock movie. When you're there, maybe, do you want popcorn and a drink, soda? Another place of, where do you want to go? Maybe you want to go shopping. Or eat at a restaurant. Or do you want to go out to eat with me? To eat with me? Do you want to go eat in a restaurant with me? You want to go walking? You want to go for a walk? Maybe you want to go walking in the park down a path. So you kind of just, this is meandering up the path. So maybe when we're doing our schedules, you know, and the day program is kind of big, we have schedules that we have to kind of follow suit, and people choose their activities. You might tell them, you have art group, or it's time for art group. Maybe they have an exercise group. Maybe there's a reading group. Music group. Oh, and then there could be cooking. You know, you're cooking in the kitchen. Do you want to come to the library with me? So you can drive to the library. You can tell them it's time to go to the library. Or you and I, we are going in 5 minutes. Shorter one is, you know, go to the library. So maybe you're going to do, today, we're going to play basketball. Or you can just do, play basketball. Next week, you and I, we are going to play basketball. Or every week, so this is a routine schedule. You're doing something every single day, every single week, every Monday, we are going. We'll be playing basketball. Good. You can say, I finished my work. Do you want to play basketball with me? Or you can even do, throw me the ball. Okay, just simply making the round. That's just simply as ball. And even when we do like our schedules, I know where I work, people always say, what's my schedule? What's my schedule? You know, they want to know what's going to be happening. So you might say, first, you have art group. Second, you have exercise group. Third, will be time to eat lunch, which is always a big one. One's lunch. You guys can do today is art. Next, or you can do or. Second, exercise. And then it's lunch. To make it even simpler, art, exercise, then eat. When someone says, you know, oh, when do I eat? And you can just simply say, you know, after exercise group. So those are just some simple phrases. Oh, I have a couple more, hang on. These are a little bit on your health. You know, I feel sick, I have a cold. You can just simply just do this as a cold, or I have a cold, I have a cough. You know, maybe you're stuffed up. My head hurts. So this is a sign for hurt. Or maybe it's your stomach that hurts. Or I fell and my knee hurts. So you're just kind of pointing, you're indicating where it is you're having pain. I need the nurse. You can ask them, do you want the nurse? Do you need help? That's a huge question to ask somebody, to let them know that you're there if you need them, if they need you. You can just do simple need help or help. So those are some of our phrases. We'll go over and practice some of them, and that should wrap up our session. Okay, so ready? Do you remember my name is what? Whatever your name is. I'm not going to make your finger spell. What your name? Where do you live? You don't have to do the do. You can even just go, where you live. How are you? So you bring your hands together. How you? How are you today? Are you good? You fine? This is good? Fine? If you're not doing good, it's good, but you're throwing it away. So that's another way of doing your negatives. You get rid of them, toss them away. Do you want your shower before breakfast? Oh, sorry, breakfast. What do you want to wear? You can even do the question mark. You want to wear. You know, I have a question. What do you want to wear? Or you can just do wear, question mark, wear. You know, what do you want to eat? You can, you know, you can do what you want to eat, or, you know, eat what do you want. It's time to eat breakfast. Time for breakfast. What you want to drink. Do you want coffee, juice, milk, water? Good. Do you like to swim? Let's see. Do you like games? Do you like riding a bicycle? Maybe reading. What? What do you like? Listening to music? Okay. Do you want to go to the dance? You want to go to the dance. You can even do you want to go to the movies. You know, even when a big one in the day programs is when we have fire drills. It's not being polite, you're not saying, oh, please, you know, we need to leave. You're going to go over and tell them fire now. And then you're going to take them and walk out the door. So it's not going through. You give them very little explanation. You're not going to go into signing every single word. Really, you just go over and you're going to sign fire. And you're going to help them and guide them out or whatever you need to do to help someone leave, okay? You want to eat at a restaurant? So you want to eat at a restaurant is the longer version. You want to go grocery shopping. You want to go. It's food shopping. You can simply even just do go shopping. You and me go for a walk in the park, down the path. Park is really like play area. So for any of you who have children and you want to take them to the park, it's play and then area, because that's the ground. For doing schedules, you have art. You have music. Our next is cooking. If it's like medical, you might want to ask them, do you need help? Are you hurt? I think the most important thing when we're doing this is to remember simplicity at the basic level is best. It's not to try and get too elaborate because you're going to follow yourself up and probably them, that you're really looking at getting the words you do know correctly done so they understand you. And you can fill in, you know, using your body is the best thing. You're going to be moving, you're using your actions. If you're like, hey, let's go, you're not just going to go, let's go. Facial expression is huge. You need to use it. Otherwise, it's like lost in translation. You're not going to know, just go, you know, a simple little gesture or, you know, a sign can be interpreted differently if you're adding in the facial expressions and the body language. So those are very important to try and add in. It helps quite a bit. And we all have universal signs we use, so does the deaf community, and they're usually very similar. And some of the signs came from just universal. So, you know, keep it up, keep practicing with each other. If not, practice in the mirror, practice with your kids. It'll help make you a little bit more proficient in it and enjoy it. Okay, thank you.
Well, would like to thank everyone for coming to our American Sign Language three-part series. And Michelle, we want to thank you so much for being our instructor. I feel like we've all learned a lot, and we're much better able to communicate with people, not only with developmental disabilities, but people of all abilities. And so, once again, we thank you for coming.